Howdy everybody, it's me, Walnut Fox here again. I wanted to show you guys something. I built this on our server at my base, and I thought maybe some folks could use it. So it seems how the Nether update's coming. We might want to have a place where we can get a whole bunch of potions all in a hurry at the push of a couple of buttons. So using some of the new mechanics, I made my potion brewing room. So it is kind of on the large side. It uses a repeater clock here to fill water bottles, and you can shut the clock on or off with this circuit here. It breaks the clock, allowing this to run out. That way your dispenser right here is not firing all the time. Also has storage for nether wart and extra bottles of water that are fed in through a hopper there, and then everything has its own button to request each individual potions. And then we have a line here to go ahead and start our clock. So if we make sure that by default our clock is activated here with this block in the corner, it's being powered by this torch, and it allows the circuit to continually run. That's the default setting for the clock. To start the water bottle filler, see there's no water bottles in here, we just flip this lever and shut it back off. It gives it a pulse that starts the clock over here. So what it's doing is it's using a waterlogged stair and a dispenser that's completely full of glass bottles. When the dispenser dispenses a glass bottle, it fills it full of water. Well, if all these slots are full of empty glass bottles, it can't go anywhere, so it has to go into the chest. So what happens is if we start this clock, every time the redstone signal comes over here, it fills a bottle of water automatically for us. And to stop that, we just break the redstone line that we're powering. So it's one of the new mechanics in dispensers. So what we can do is we can turn our bottle filler on, and it does the same thing. It starts to fill water bottles, and they automatically go into our brewing stand. Now we have 3 of them in here, and then it'll start to fill up behind. So to shut that off, we just flip the switch on our clock, and when the redstone signal makes it to here, it can't go any further. And it shuts the clock off. That way we don't waste bottles if we don't want to. Okay. So to build something like this, you're going to need all of these components. Obviously, these are all for your brewing. You're going to need some glass bottles, buttons, levers, some sort of stair. Slabs also work, but you have to put blocks all the way around them. Stairs, you only have to fill in the 3 sides. You'll need 1 dispenser, 15 droppers, a redstone torch, sticky pistons, item frames, obviously a brewing stand, hoppers, droppers, water bucket chests, repeaters, signs if you want them, and a building block. Anyway, I'll show you guys how to build this right beside here. So we're going to see if we can't get everything out of here except for these materials. So we'll need some redstone, not only for the to extend the potion effects, but to build most of our stuff here. So, all right, we'll start out with a lot of droppers and building blocks, a lot of hoppers, go from there. And I came up 2 blocks. That way I've got room underneath it. Okay. So as you can see, we've got all of these hoppers across here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So it's 7 across and then 3 wide, right? So we'll need 1 that feeds in from the back, and then we'll need 1 from the top, and then the rest of them are all droppers. So we can go 1, 2, 3 this way, we can go 1, 2, 3 this way, and then I believe it's 3. Yes, 1, 2, 3. All right. And we'll just make a little ring of whatever building block we're going to use here. We are going to need that one for our levers. Okay. So if you didn't know, droppers can dispense or drop things into something that has an inventory. So just like all of our hoppers have an inventory, we can drop things into them. Okay, so if we go over here, our hopper has put us in 3 water bottles. So if we want, obviously we're going to need netherwort for most of our potions, but if we're going to cure, say we're going to cure a zombie villager, all we need is a fermented spider eye. So we just push the button and it puts our fermented spider eye in automatically. It drops it into the hopper. It comes around and is fed in through the top. You'll see that I got 2 blaze powders here. One faces up into the hoppers, one faces over into the brewing stand. Well, brewing stand needs some fuel, so if I push that, it puts it in here and takes it out. So if I push it again, if I feed this in from the side, it puts it in the fuel category. If I feed it in through the top, it would put it up here and make a strength potion. See, now we have potion of weaknesses for curing zombie villagers. So now that we have this, what we need is we need a set of hoppers, or I'm sorry, droppers behind these hoppers. Because if we set them on top, it'll just suck the items out of there. So we put 3 of them looking in there. And then we'll put 1 right, yes, right here. Right above this one. Oh, I guess I need to put a block there so I can push against it. There we go. These do not need to have blocks behind them. They are going to be temporary blocks. Our clock and everything is going to go in over here, so we won't put any, there won't be any buttons over here on this side. So we want to avoid using this these spaces here because our clock runs up there. So we'll just put these 3 droppers that are behind here right along these. I don't know why I put all 3 of those there, but like this. Alright. So what you should have is a set of hoppers and droppers that looks like that. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we'll build these circuits so that we can use each individual ones. If we just push a button and let it feed into these droppers, it can bud power the one next to it. So we want to use repeaters. And we'll put those over the top of those hoppers. Those don't lock the hoppers because they don't feed a signal through there. So to power each of these individually, we need to use blocks. We can't use redstone dust because it will connect to the one next to it. Okay, remember to hold down shift or you'll start adding delay to your to your machine here. So your buttons go under here. So this one will power this one. This one will power that one back there. This one will power this one over there. This one over there. You know the drill. So, all right. For these ones, it's as simple as putting the buttons right below them. All right. Now when we come around to the back, we're going to have first of all, we'll have 2 hoppers in a chest for our nether wart. I've got way more nether wart than that saved up at the base, but that's okay. So the reason we need 2 hoppers here is because of our clock. We want it to, if we put a chest under here, this dispenser counts as a full block and we can't open the chest. Okay? So this is where our nether wart will go for storage, and we'll add all of that here in a minute. The next thing that we're going to add in is our bottle filler right here. So we have, we have an extra chest in case we leave this running for a little while. We don't want to lose all of our bottles before we can shut everything off. So we'll put a little extra storage right here. We can put a double chest in. I didn't think that was necessary, but you can definitely put a double chest here. So all of your water bottles get fed in through the back here. So this is where our chest goes. We'll place a hopper here. And then right on top of this is where our stairs come in. They need to face this way. Then we need to put a solid block on each side to hold the water in. Now, we're going to put in our dispenser. It has to be a dispenser. So the expensive one, the one that uses a bow and arrow to craft, or bow, looking at this block, at the stairs. From there, we can waterlog the stairs, and it will do what it's supposed to do. As soon as it dispenses a bottle, it'll fill it up full of water. If there's no inventory space left in here, it'll fall out. It'll be picked up by the hopper because a stair is less than a full block right there. Okay, so now we're done with the water. And what we'll do is we'll use repeaters and whatever building block and a little bit of redstone to get us a clock built right here. So fortunately, this block has already been placed in here for us because we needed something to push against to get it to face the right direction. This is a temporary block. You could leave it there. I choose to take it out. That way it doesn't interfere with anything. And we'll want to make we'll want to make a shape that is 4 by 4. This will be our corner that shuts it off and turns it on. A repeater, they all have to face the same direction, so they don't have to go, counterclockwise. They can go clockwise, but they all have to face the same direction. So we're going to put redstone dust there and there. And then we are going to come up, actually underneath here, 2 blocks. Sticky piston facing up. Redstone torch, and that completes the circuit. This block gets powered and continues the circuit. Alright, to shut this off, all we need to do is put a repeater there, a repeater here, and dust between, and a lever here. So by default, our clock is on. If we power it, our clock will shut off. Okay. On this side, we'll put a lever here, and we'll do almost the same thing. Go here. We'll come out 1 block because we don't want to power anything here. And then what we want to do is we want to send a signal in to right here. So redstone dust, repeater, dust, repeater. Now what we should have when we do that is our clock's running. When we turn this back on, it completes the circuit, and we give this a pulse, and now it will run slower. And every time it will, if you can see down there in the bottom right, it shows the dispenser failed. So we'll shut the clock off. Alright, so what we'll do now is we'll add a little storage for some extra water bottles up here. And there, in essence, we are finished with this, redstone wise. Now all we have to do is put up some signs and some ingredients. So we'll set all these away, all our redstone materials and building materials. We'll keep that block just in case. We're going to need, if you want to use the signs, you can. If you want to use something else, if you want to use item frames and rename items, that's fine too. It's up to you. And you can put these in any given order. It doesn't matter where you put them. The nether wart I find is handy right here because everything's kind of, we can reach everything from right here, but nether wart's going to be pretty much the first thing that we put in there all the time, it seems like. So And there's storage here for it. So this will be nether wart. Now remember, you can hold shift and put these on anything that you want, including the hoppers. You don't have to have this one here. There are none there, so we'll put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 like that. And then we just take our nether wart. We can reach it from back here like this, and I'll start filling this. Our glass bottles are here. There we go. Hit the right button. If you have a witch farm, you'll have a lot of glass bottles, so go ahead and fill her up. And then what I did was I put all of the stuff that was kinda useful along this top row, so this way you can fill things from inside here when you're standing on the floor, and you put whatever floor you like in here. So you've got your regen and your instant health right here, and then we've got nothing there. And then because the nether update's coming, I always use fire resistance potions anyway. And then I put our blaze powder on both sides. And we know that if one's facing up and one's facing in, this one's for strength, this one's for fuel. And then I took my golden carrots for night vision or for invisibility if you're going to clear out a ocean monument, or you're going to be roaming around doing some bad stuff, some mean stuff, then sure helps. Curing zombie villagers, fermented spider eye, and then potions of slow falling, I thought were some of the more useful. And then all we have left are these ones here. So potion of leaping, not as cool as I would have hoped it would have been, but let's see, poison. Let's do the redstone here because I always extend mine. And then we'll put, we'll do the glowstone here because sometimes you want extended or in more potent or inverted, however you want to call it. Anywho, and then we'll put the gunpowder here to make splash potions, and then we'll make this one be our dragon's breath for lingering potions, and there you go. All of your stuff is set up. You have a machine that will, if we make sure to turn this off, yep. And then we give this a whip. We should start seeing water bottles coming in here. Yep, there they are. We could speed this up a little bit, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to. And you can let it run for a while and it'll put some in here, and you don't have to keep it running. You don't have to shut it off. So there it is. And it automatically puts water bottles back in there if there's any in the chest and hopper back here. So hopefully that's something that you can use. Hope that you can use it in your world. If you can, hey, you liked it, give me a like, and make sure to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. So hopefully you found this useful, and we can see you in the next one. Just make sure to have some fun and play some games.